Welcome back to the Fox News Specialists. Our specialists today are Taya Kyle and Steve Malsberg. Let's continue the conversation. Chicago is reeling after more than 100 people were shot between Friday and yesterday morning, including 15 dead. The city is now on pace to break last year's record level of gun deaths. The astounding level of violence comes despite 1,300 extra police officers on the streets for the July 4th holiday. The Chicago PD says it's now conducting a, quote, very comprehensive review. But can they actually find a solution to solve this chaos? Eric, time to end the drug war. What do you think?
I don't know. Look, again, I'm from Chicago, and I'm embarrassed to say Chirac time and time again. 100 people shot, 13 shot dead in one weekend. It's not getting better. It's getting worse. Obviously, tighter gun laws aren't helping. It's one of the most difficult cities in the country to get a gun, to get a handgun, to get a concealed carry. Maybe it's time just let people conceal carry in Chicago so that they can defend themselves against some of this insane amount of crime.
Can I tell y'all this? This is that's fine, Eric. That's a fine solution. It's not going to solve this because this is something you can't legislate, and it's something that's not law enforcement. It's not the issue either. This is a system. This is cultural. This is community. This is systematic. This is education. This is jobs. This is family units. This is the problem in Chicago. I know this because I went firsthand, because I don't like to talk about things I don't know very much about. So myself, Gianna, Richard Fowler, General Caldwell, we went to see, and this is what the community told us, y'all. It's not a gun control issue. It's not. They can put 20,000 police on the streets. That will not change what we're seeing in Chicago.
Of course not, because if you're living this life of crime, a lot of it which has to do with drugs and black markets to sell drugs, then yeah, you're not going to give up your gun, and you're not afraid of the punishments. And just because there's more police, that's not going to change it.
There is no punishment. That's the problem. I heard I don't know if he's still Chicago police chief, but I heard a couple of years ago, he was interviewed and he said, we don't have prison space. You got to lock these people up and throw away the key. You know, there was a crime bill in
them all up, or what's the solution?
Anybody who goes around shooting people, you lock up for a long. There was a crime bill, 1994. It was too radical, so the Democrats took it out. If you use a gun in the commission of a crime, 10 years. If you shoot it, 20 years. I don't care if you shoot it in the air. And that's real gun control.
That's fine. I'm familiar with the gun control.
But there is none.
The crime bill. It's not thwarting these people from doing that.
Because there is no such rule. There is no such penalty. There is no such penalty for those crimes.
And also part of the reason for the overcrowding is because of a lot of people being locked up for nonviolent crimes. But you can weigh in.
So I think you're both right in some ways, honestly, right? Because you have to know that if you commit the crime, you're going to do the time. And they don't know that right now in Chicago. But Ebony, I'm so on your page with this, because the truth is, I heard a great quote from my friend Brian Birdwell the other day, and he said, you're either ruled by the Bible or the bayonet, right? And the reason why you and I don't go out and murder people is we have a conscience, right? We have a code and a morality that we won't do it. I don't care what somebody does to me, unless they're breaking into my home and coming at my kids. I'm not going to kill them, right? But I'm certainly not going to murder under any circumstances. It's Christ, it's the church, it's godliness, it's community. They need strong people, they need strong men. And somebody has to roll up their sleeves and be brave enough to go into Chicago.
Ebony, I don't agree with you. I'll be honest, straightforward with you. I don't agree with you. I think it's got to be some of both. Maybe you get into the community. But you want to talk about strong leaders? Chicago has some of the strongest African-American leaders the country has ever produced.
No, they do not.
But listen to me.
No, they do
is
not,
Barack
Eric.
Obama a strong African-American leader?
Not for
You
the
know
kids.
what? Barack Obama is a strong leader. Barack Obama was a community organizer. I would not consider Barack Obama a leader of Chicago. That's what I wouldn't consider him.
Can I step in on this?
I mean,
he actually came from Hawaii.
All right, well, whatever.
Eric, I just want to, I normally don't interrupt you, but I want to on this one, okay? Because I speak from experience that if you have a young boy and he doesn't have a father, I don't care who the mayor is, I don't care who the chief of police is. Wait a minute, let me finish. They need a man to come into their life who is a strong man, who is a good role model, and shows them what it is to be a man. And that is what is missing over there, is the morality and the strong personal connection.
But what is it about Chicago? It's unique to Chicago, this violence.
It's out of control.
Right now in Chicago, we've seen it in New Orleans before, we've seen it in Baltimore before, we've seen it in places near Detroit before. So this is an urban city crisis,
well,
Eric.
How did these other cities solve
It's the church and the morality and the community. They have to get involved.
Has to step up.
In New York City, they locked them up.
That too, right? Lock them up if they do the time, but then get in there and love them. Show them what it's
not
like.
either or. If you could start young,
Yes.
absolutely. But if you fail, you lock them up.
Right.
A lot of
That's
this
right.
is connected to drugs also.
goes
We need to
in-
take a look at the way we handle drugs, and we instead of
But why are
locking them up,
people
we'll go
using
from a
drugs,
treatment
though?
a
Right.
treatment
But why are people? We got to look
approach.
at the reason why a lot of people are using drugs.
100%
right?
understand that, but the way we're handling drugs now certainly isn't
Handing
helping.
out big old-fashioned hugs and kisses in Chicago ain't going to stop the
No,
crime wave
nobody's
that's
saying
going
that.
on.
That's,
but it's
nobody's
not a
saying
hug.
that,
Well,
Eric.
I'm trying to figure out.
It's-
if
it's
you're
It's
saying-
leadership. She's talking about
Getting
leadership within
in.
the home, right?
Right.
So you're talking about Barack Obama, that's fine, Rahm Emanuel. I'm talking about leaders within the home.
Right.
I'm
right.
talking about
Somebody's gotta
drastic
personally
criminal
touch you.
justice reform. All right.